This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right. Thank you all as always. There we are, the man, the myth, the legend that is Manny Navarro. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
Feeling good, looking forward to this weekend. I'll be watching a lot of football on my couch and writing about it. So
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, for me, good job too. I got no Dolphins, no Canes, no Inter. So it's like a totally relaxed weekend, bro. When I'm done here, I get to like chill for the next couple of days. So that's good. You watch with no pressure, you know. That's it. The only other thing I got going on now I'm building up the Crypto Bro Show. So if there's anything that goes on in crypto over the weekend, then maybe I have to, because crypto's 24/7.
Right.
So
It's a full-time job.
that's where it's it's kind of like football. Yeah, full-time job, pretty much for Mario. So, how are we doing on the injury front here on the bye week?
Well, good. I mean, this is a great opportunity to rest some guys that have been dealing with lingering issues. Jalen Rivers, I think, is going to be the big returnee when Miami comes out of this break, when they have to play at Louisville. If you look at the offensive line play, Cam Ward is certainly responsible for some of those sacks, holding onto the ball for a little too long, trying to, buy time. But you compare the numbers last year to this year, Miami's offensive line performed better a year ago than it did this year. So not having Jalen Rivers around for 5 of your first 6 games affects that. He's probably the best offensive lineman in the ACC, only played against Florida. Get him back. I think that has positive effects for the rest of your offensive line. And then, guys that have been dealing with things. Ruben Bain just came back against Cal. He should be able to benefit from getting a full rest this week, getting his body back up to full speed, being able to play a full workload if needed. Elijah Alston, another guy who was banged up, I think, against Virginia Tech. So, guys are dealing with bumps and bruises, but, having the week off is a perfect time to rest the bodies and then come back fresh for the second half.
The Cam Ward stuff, your assessment so far of his play for the first half?
I mean, he is the reason Miami's 6-0. I know that he hasn't. He's made some bad decisions here and there. The pick 6 against Cal was probably his worst decision of the season, but he more than made up for it. And the reality is, you look at the improvements with this offense. They have gone from having, in all honesty, Tyler Van Dyke was a pretty good quarterback, not a great one, obviously, he turned the ball over a lot, but a pretty good one statistically, to having arguably the best quarterback in college football in Cam Ward. Which is why Miami has, the number 2 scoring offense in the country, number 1 in yards per play. Just the pure explosiveness. They're averaging over 47 points a game. They are averaging over 8 yards a play. Those are ridiculous marks. Those are marks that make you a national championship contender. So he is the reason, and without question, without him, I'm not sure what this team is.
No, I mean, forget about it, dude. I mean, he's everything. I mean, he's brought the tight end position back to life, because it's not like Arroyo lacked talent. So clearly, there wasn't somebody to get him the ball and all those kind of things. And yeah, he makes some crazy decisions at times, but okay, I can live with the guy that can make a crazy decision and then say, okay, coach, don't worry about it. I'll make up for it. And he can make up for it. You know what I mean? The guy that constantly makes crazy decisions and can't get you out of a mess, well, that's the guy that's going to get you fired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Cam might, maybe some of the things he does might turn off NFL scouts.
No question.
That might be the case, but on the college side, oh my God, are you kidding me, dude? Everything about this kid has been phenomenal. The leadership, and then the confidence that he instills. Because even if you're down, even if you made a mistake, I think in the past when you're down or you make mistakes, it's like, oh no, here we go again. I think with Cam Ward now, you're like, no problem, we'll get him on the next one. And I think that's probably where the attitude is going now.
Yeah, he's made them believers. It doesn't matter what the score is. With him at quarterback, they can beat anybody, and they can come back from any deficit. We've seen this team for the last 20 years without a leader like Cam Ward, and they don't win very many ball games. They lose a lot of games that have you scratching your head. So I think Alonzo Highsmith was right all those years saying that Miami needed to get a better quarterback. I think we all go back to the glory days of this program, and it's obvious the reason they won national championships. They had really good quarterbacks. They had guys that went on to the NFL and were, if they weren't starters in the NFL, they certainly were on rosters and spent a lot of years on it.
Just get them, just get them drafted.
Yeah.
If they get drafted from 1st to the 7th round, then that means you had a pretty damn good college quarterback. That's all.
You did. And really, I mean,
Toretto won the Heisman and he was a 4th rounder.
Right.
So
yeah. I mean, Dorsey was a 7th rounder. I mean, those get drafted, and it shows that you're a smart, competent guy who can lead a college offense. And I think ultimately, Cam Ward is going to be one of the best quarterbacks to ever come out of Miami. I think, when I talked to scouts at the last Miami home game, I had several people tell me that he's a top 3 quarterback in this draft. And if you're a top 3 quarterback, you're going in the 1st round. There's too many teams that need quarterbacks, dude.
Right, exactly. That's why I'm saying that. And any quarterback that gets drafted, believe it or not, 1st through 7th round, they were running a successful program. And that's what NFL teams see. They see, okay, well, no, but this guy was a winner at this level, and he did this and did that and all that. Like, I look at Bo Nix, and I'm not that impressed with Bo Nix, but he won. So there he is. You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of the way it goes. And it doesn't matter who you are and where you get drafted. If you get drafted, then there's some respect for you there because of what you did in college. And that's what Miami has to get back to. I know Cam's going to probably be maybe a 1st rounder. I don't know, maybe early 2nd, worst case scenario. You don't have to get to that point. But if you're at least getting your quarterbacks drafted, then, Erickson, what was Erickson? Craig Erickson was...
They use a supplemental pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, like a 3rd round supplemental pick, I want to say.
He was, I think he might have been a 1st round supplemental pick.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken. But
look it up, Craig Erickson, see what he was. But again, I'm just trying to pick guys that weren't obvious, Vinny Testaverde, the guys that were obvious 1st rounders, that Jim Kelly and all that kind of. You just get drafted, bro. You mentioned a great one in Dorsey. Dorsey had no business really to play in the NFL, but if you watched him in college, you just saw a winner.
All right. So he was drafted in 91 by the Eagles in the 5th round. And then he was also drafted in the 4th round of the 92 draft by the Buccaneers.
Okay. I'm thinking of Steve Walsh. Steve Walsh was the supplemental pick, I think.
Yes, he was a 1st round supplemental pick. Yes.
That's what I confused Erickson and Walsh for a second, so I apologize.
Yes, that's exactly. He took Steve Walsh, and then he traded him after, right? That's what it was, right? He traded him to the Bears or something like that. I think it was.
I think he was traded, yes, at some point.
I think he was traded or something like that. Anyway, so either way, UM's got to get back to getting quarterbacks that are drafted.
Yeah.
And that's it. And if they can do that, then in this year you're going to get Cam drafted. And that's going to also be a great sales job too for your program also.
Especially for quarterbacks who are going to be hitting the transfer portal, who say, there was the narrative that Mario was a quarterback killer, right? People were like, oh, he doesn't really develop guys. He inherited Justin Herbert at Oregon. That wasn't his recruit. That was already there. And, you had a guy in Tyler Van Dyke that won from ACC Rookie of the Year, took a step backwards. There was that narrative out there that Mario was a quarterback killer. And now this sort of flips that on its head, doesn't it?
It will. It will.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not done yet, but it definitely will. And it's already doing it. And when he went for it early in the game this past week, I was like, well, that's not Mario. I like that. And they failed. But I was like, I'm good. That's what I want from Mario, because you and I have been talking about this for several years, even before he took the job. It was, he does have a conservative approach because that's who he is as a person. You know what I mean? He's a conservative man, period. And so his coaching, and because he's an offensive lineman and all that, it's kind of been more of a conservative approach, but you can't be like that in this game nowadays. And so when I saw that, I was like, okay, he's adjusting to that. And to me, that's growth. That's big. That's big. And so I want to see it in bigger moments where, you're going to have some cojones and take some chances. And I know he has plenty of cojones. I know he has plenty of toughness, but I just want him to be able to have a little extra risk. And I saw that this week. And I was like, so
Yeah.
that whole thing about him being conservative, that whole thing about being a quarterback killer, these are narratives that he's crushing,
He is, and and I think certainly Ward has gotten people excited, just future quarterbacks excited to come play here, and that in itself, the value of that, especially in today's world with transfers and recruiting and guys flipping all the time, it's going to put Miami in a prime position to land a really good quarterback next year, and that's what you want. You want to be able to continue this. You don't want to go make the playoff this year or win an ACC title this year and then take a step back like Florida State has, right, this year where they're 1-5 and their quarterback situation completely devastated them. So I think Mario is going to avoid that because he's done a good job recruiting and building the team around Cam Ward. And I think because Cam Ward has come in here and put a stamp on, hey, you can go to Miami and play quarterback and have a lot of success. I think that's going to help them tremendously.
And by the way, everything Florida State built, they just destroyed it with this season. They just destroyed it because it looks fraudulent, what you built. Mm-hmm. And that is something that Mario and his staff have to look at and say, we can't have those kind of valleys.
Yep.
We can peak and then maybe have a little bit of a dip and then get back up, but we cannot just go into a valley because then we're going to lose recruits. We're going to lose momentum in recruiting and all those kind of things. And so great lesson for Miami to look at Florida State and say, okay, we've got to be prepared next year to win as many games or more and have great success and maintain because that's what they do at Georgia. That's what they do at Alabama. That's what they do at Ohio State.
That's what he was brought here to do, dude. That's why they spent the money to go get him. Exactly. It's not to be a one-hit wonder.
Right. It's not to be for you old guys out there, because I don't know who it is now in today's world, but it's not to be Don McNeilon. Okay, back with West Virginia, that okay, I got one good team, but then I'm going to disappear for 4 more years, and then I'll be back with another team. Jim Grobe would do that at Wake Forest. He would actually have a team every 4 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking maybe the Cuse might be something like that. Maybe there's a couple of programs that are like that right now. Maybe Duke is one of those that can only have a good class every 4 years or something like that. You can't do that. You can't do that here at the University of Miami.
And it's not going to be that. It won't, because he recruits at such a high level that a lot of those guys come in and ultimately they're not going to leave because they're winning right now, right? They see the results. They see guys getting better. They see guys, and that's the thing. You have to just sort of stack that year upon year, and you'll be fine. And I think that's the direction they're headed.
All right, what do you got going on in the athletics so folks can check you out?
Well, we just had our ACC power rankings come out this morning. So if you want to read up on the entire conference and who's playing who this weekend and what's kind of at stake, I think one team for us to track the rest of the year is going to be SMU. Rhett Lashley, former offensive coordinator. They went on the road last week, beat Louisville, had an impressive win. They are off this week, just like Miami is. But the second half of their schedule, man, I've said this many times, I think Miami has to go undefeated in the regular season to guarantee themselves a spot in the playoff. Well, you lose one game, SMU could be the team that replaces you in the ACC championship game if you don't take care of yourself. So they're a team to watch the rest of the way, and a lot of former Canes on that team. So if you want to read about SMU and the rest of the ACC, check out our ACC power rankings.
You bastard! You do it every time.
That's what I do, baby. I bring it.
You bastard! You do it every single. Can you see that from there? Because I can't. Because I'm on delay.
I see it. I see the line going up.
You see it all. You see that shit. You see that shit
every time.
How come you haven't invested?
I know. I'm gonna have to do something here. The problem is I'm worried about being the bad luck. I don't don't want to ruin it for you. I feel like at the moment I actually put money in, it's going to go the opposite way because
you can't ruin it, dude. Our government prints money and devalues their dollar.
Right.
And all that's going to do is continue to make Bitcoin stronger and stronger and stronger. That's why it was 8 digits behind a penny and it's at 62,000. So, there's no asset in the world that's ever done that, So I'm just saying, bro, you're Mr. Parabolic, bro.
I don't know how I do it, brother. I don't know how I do it, but it's working for you. I'll keep it going for you.
Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. And of course, go to Caneswear. Use our code BIGO10. You will get 10% off online or in person. And also online, if you order over $99, you will get free shipping. And Jeff, he makes sure that when you send in that order, it is out right away, man. They fill it and send it out right away. They do great work there at Caneswear. Go check it out. And coming up will be our BigCheeseMiami.com NIL and recruiting report.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.